Hello, hello. Well, as you can see, we just recycled the intro video from Friday night because I couldn't be asked. I don't think this game really warranted its own intro video. Do you, John?
No, and to be honest with you, if you would have made one, it would probably crashed and burned anyway.
No, I know. Oh, mate, what a strange game. What a strange game. I mean,
awful game of football. Well,
I mean, where do we start with that? I mean, I suppose look, we start with the lineups. I mean, I was a bit surprised, really, that there weren't any changes. You know, I was calling. I mean, to be fair, I called for Souček and for Benny to be dropped. Souček had a better game today. He played much better today. I wouldn't say back to his best or anything like that, but certainly he was more involved in the game. He weren't a problem today. Souček and Rice were fine. It kind of all felt we looked a bit wobbly in defence, and we couldn't hold possession.
No,
and we had nothing on the counter attack. So the minute we tried to get the ball forward, it just came straight back. And Brighton they're just really good at holding the ball and they pass the ball well. I said earlier on, didn't I? It felt a little bit at times like we was playing bloody Man City.
Yeah, I said the same during the game.
It's just really strange and I mean, sort of going forward, we had a few good chances, didn't we?
Yeah, we had a few chances, but to be fair, if we would have got a win out of that game, that would have been like theft. I mean, they were by far the better team.
They were.
We whether or not we made them look good or they were just better than us technically, I think it was the latter. I think our attacking creative midfielders, whatever you want to call them, they couldn't, especially Benrahma, but the ball was coming back. The defenders it was just wave after wave because they could not hold the ball up or they couldn't find a player to pass to.
No.
And, you saw from the off, I think after a couple of minutes, Benny was helping Johnson out in defence, I think, and he just slammed the ball into the middle of the area near enough.
Oh, no.
And they nearly scored from it. But it was just poor. I'm usually very, as you know, probably quite positive.
You're positive. You're a positive.
I'm very positive, and I'll still look for positives out of it. And I just think that the creative midfield three today for us let us down on both sides of things because we're going to have this debate in a minute. I know we are, Nick, because we've already spoke a little bit about it. But they weren't creating nothing for Antonio, in my opinion, right?
No.
And secondly, they weren't holding the ball up, which meant the defence were just having to defend constantly. But all credit to Brighton. They play good football,
Yeah, no, they played really well. And to be quite honest, they should have scored much sooner than they did. I mean, Fabianski sort of saved our bacon. Sort of, he was brilliant today. But I don't. It's hard to dissect it because we kind of saw this against Wolves.
Yeah.
It was the same sort of thing. It was an abject performance, and I don't know whether it's. I think we spoke about this the other day. Do you know, like we said, David Moyes likes to play a system until it's dead. I think that to me that's what he did last year, and then he changed it up when Lingard came in. Yeah, I'm starting to feel like this system and this way of playing. I think we're coming towards that point again where Moyes is probably going to have to freshen things up a little bit, not just with team selection, but the way that we've been playing this year. We rarely have more possession than the team that we're playing against. So we set up, we're really firm. We play that deep press game because we're so good and we're so defensively strong and we're organised. And then we wait for the chance. We break and then we break with pace and purpose and we go. Well, at the moment, we're not defensively strong enough to be doing that. And when we break forward, there's fuck all. So it's coming straight back at us again. So for me, like I say, that's why I think you need Lanzini. As soon as Lanzini came on today,
he was awesome when he came on.
We look better from an attacking perspective straight away. He knits everyone together. You saw Rice getting up next to him as well. Rice and Masuaku, he gravitated towards him. And that's another thing and all. Like with Rice, I know that it seems a bit silly because we're conceding goals at the moment. But for me, sometimes the best form of defense is attack and. I think we look so much better when Dec drives forward. I really do. Souček played better today. I honestly don't see why we don't work on switching their roles and basically them because I don't think Souček is an amazing attacking midfielder.
No,
I think he could be a good holding midfielder. So I don't see why they don't work on trying and get him to shield, and basically let Rice join up with that attack. Let him drive. Let him pick that ball up. Let him go. I think he's almost wasted shielding.
You know the problem. I said this to my son actually over there, Freddie, as you know him. It's almost like whatever role you take away from Rice. So if we say to Rice attack, don't worry about defending so much, or if we say to Rice defend, don't attack so much, because he's such a world-class player, you lose that bit of him.
He leaves a void. Yeah.
Yeah. So the problem there is we rely on him so much that in the same breath, we can't rely on him to do just one thing because we need him to do all of the above.
Well, I think the issue is when he sits and he holds, as you just said, Souček can't do it as well as him. No. When he drive, and you know what? I'm not being funny. I think if you played him right wing, left wing, or centre forward, he'd be better than anyone we've got in any of those positions.
Yeah,
he literally. I think you could play him anywhere. It wouldn't even surprise me if he was fucking amazing in goal or something. He's outrageous, that guy.
But it's interesting though, Nick. The only thing I'd say is, and it might be because of my defensive mentality. You know, like you said, defensively we're not great at the minute, and you could say that. You could say that. But that comes from the fact that they're being overrun a lot and they're having to defend a lot more because the front three, not Antonio, the creative three, in my mind, are not keeping the ball long enough away from it. They're losing it so often.
Yeah, but
it's coming back all the time at us.
Yeah, but I think the way that our front three was playing, John, Bowen and Fornals were being pressed really high. So we had in effect most of the time we had a front two. Ben Rama weren't on it and Antonio was isolated. So I think the opposition have figured out that if they press us high, and the minute we get the ball out to either a Bowen or because I think that fucking long-haired, fluffy-haired bloke, it was on Bowen.
He was good.
He was good. He was on Bowen. He was doing a good job on Bowen.
Mate, he was when Johnson was having the ball at left back and they was looking to switch it to Soufal at right back. That bushy-haired fella was marking Soufal.
I know,
and he's the left back or left, whatever you want to call him, left wing.
He's a very, very good player. And I don't think Bowen had his best game. He had put his usual shift in. He does not stop running. He was brilliant. He had a couple of chances.
Yeah, which is why Moyes don't take him off often because he knows that even if he's not performing to the highest of his standards, he will put the shift in, work rate.
Yeah.
To me, Ben Rama wanted the ball. He was demanding the ball a lot. He was getting on the ball a lot, whether that was by hook, crook, or just coincidence. But he just did nothing with it. He needs to. I think Moyes said to him last season, he needs to stop being so inconsistent. To me, he needs to have that chat with him again because he's so inconsistent lately. And you know, he's starting to frustrate me. Really, if I'm honest with you, I think he needs to be dropped now. Not indefinitely, but just to give him a little bit of a kick up the arse, basically. He needs that, you know?
Yeah, I think so.
And I think, who do you think defensively today? I mean, out of Zuma and Dawson, how do you think they did?
I think they did well under the circumstances, to be honest. I think that, like I say, the way that we set up, we almost set up to not be in possession of the ball. That is kind of our game plan. We're rigid, we're firm, and when obviously the loss of Ogbonna has been massive. I didn't realise quite how much that was going to wobble us. You know, I think losing Cresswell as well. No, it's not a dig at Johnson, but Cresswell's an outstanding left back, isn't he? He's a brilliant player. Of
course he is.
You know, so that and he's another. What Cresswell is, he's another player with quite a lot of technical ability as well. So he gives you a little bit of craft. So you're going to miss that as well. I don't know. I think Johnson and Soufal. I would say the back four played all right. I think the keeper played all right. It felt like Rice and Souček played all right, but at the same time they were overrun. Do you know what I mean? Because they were just playing the ball around us at times.
Yeah, it was so comfortable. It was so comfortable for them.
And when they did, you know, want to pass through us, I know they're a good footballing team. But there was a couple. There was one in particular in that first half where Fabianski made that save, and they should have fucking scored.
Yeah,
I mean, how that bloke missed, I just don't know. But they carved us open, kind of easily.
And you know what? Easy. You know, before the game, you heard all these statistics that Brighton haven't won in 8 and they're not scoring. And luckily for us, they don't score because, to be honest with you, if they would have gone in at half time, if they would have beat us 2-1, 3-1 today, it wouldn't have been. It
No.
wouldn't have been undeserved, in my opinion. You know, they just couldn't finish, and the goal they did score was a fantastic goal. Obviously, you can't do much about that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But you could just see it coming, couldn't you? And it's just a shame it happened so late. You know. But I thought Zuma looked a bit. I thought Zuma looked a little bit clumsy today. His first touch, he kept running away from him.
He's not happy on that side. We've been saying it for ages.
Yeah,
he's not happy playing on that side.
Yeah, but you say that, but I'm talking about even he was taking the ball on his right foot and he was knocking it. He was too heavy.
Heavy. But I think the whole dynamic changes when you're playing on that side of defence. It's unless Zuma was really benefiting from having a fucking great defender like Ogbonna next to him. Maybe that's what's happened, and maybe he's missing him. I don't know, but
we'll never know, will we? But I just
I know what you mean.
If you look here, James has said, and I agree with this totally. So poor tonight. The front four needs a shake up. Not impressed with Ben Rama. 100%. What we've said. 100%.
You know, you'd imagine that's got to happen.
But who can he bring in there? You know, there's not many. You know, I mean, you've got Lanzini, but then after that, you've got Krau, who is similar-ish to what obviously Rice and Soucek do. Vlasic, you know, I mean, Fornals. I thought Fornals did all right. I thought Fornals was okay.
I think Fornals was really good, and he was getting through a lot of dog work today. He really was. And I was quite surprised when he was taken off because we were strengthened in one respect by removing. He was just a fucking passenger. He was a pest, Ben Rama. He was an absolute pest. I mean, because the annoying thing is, the one thing that you can say about him is he always shows for the fucking ball. He always gets the ball and then he does fuck all with it. He does nothing with it. So he hogs the ball. You know, he picks the wrong pass. He don't execute it properly. He holds onto the ball for too long. When he's got an opportunity to drive at someone, he chooses not to. Yeah. And you're not fucking. There was one time in that game where he played a good pass in that, and that was in the second half, and that was when he set Bowen off. He actually moved the ball quickly for once, but he has so many opportunities to do that, and he's fucking wasteful. And like I say, I think you can't knock him for his technical ability, and you know he looks amazing when he's dribbling the ball and stuff like that. But football's about more than that. His decision making leaves a lot to be desired. I think when he's playing against lesser opposition, you know, he looks amazing in Europe. When he's playing against lesser opposition, where he's got time and he can kind of think and process what he's doing, he looks amazing. But you going up against top Premier League defenses, they're in his face. Yeah, he fucking ain't got a chance. He ain't got a chance.
I've lost my camera, but I'm still here. Don't worry.
No, that's fine.
I think, I think Ben Rama's, you know, he doesn't fill me with confidence. And I've never been, and I'm not just saying it now, I've never been totally, you know, he's never won me over 100% yet since he's been with us. I think he's hyped up a lot. I think that he's got this sort of aura around him where we think he's going to do the unexpected or he's going to do this something fantastic thing. And I very rarely see it happen, if I'm honest with you. It's a little bit like all the gear and no idea sort of scenario. And I don't mean that derogatory because I'm not that sort of fan. But, you know, today for me, he's been frustrating me recently a little bit, but today just summed him up to a T to me. Every decision he made was wrong.
It was wrong.
You know, he couldn't execute anything, like you said. And I think, like you said, it was surprising that we took him off. Not surprising we took him off, but it was surprising we took him and Fornals off. Because, like you said, we're strengthening him, but taking away straight away, you know? I would like to have seen Fornals sort of, you know, stay on with Lanzini and give it a go, two of them together alongside Bowen a little bit, you know, because it might have helped Fornals. It might have helped Fornals, you know?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I was quite pleased with Arthur when he came on. I thought he offered something and all. I mean, him and Lanzini sort of getting forward down the wing, although he still does do frustrating things. I mean, that cross at the end, you know, that really fucking annoyed me. It was a really sort of lackluster cross right at the end from Masuaku.
Yeah,
do you know what really sort of typified Ben Rama today before he came off, right? And I said to Paul I was sitting with today over there before it happened. I said that's him done, and it was on about 60 minutes. Yeah, and he's literally the ball's gone out on the right hand side, right in front of Moyes. and Ben Rama is literally it's our throw in, and Ben Rama is just strolling away with his back to the ball. I mean, you fucking faced the ball, didn't you?
Yeah,
You faced the ball, and you saw Moyes was blood red, screaming at him. Face the fucking ball, and he was just sort of walking away, drifting away, and you're like, and he was shit. I'm sorry, and he was. There's no other word for him. He was shit. Antonio looks.
But Nick,
Antonio looked shit. But you know me, I rarely ever go at Antonio. But today he did his body language. He's at the very least Antonio today, right? At least with Antonio, you can normally guarantee that with him, he'll win a physical battle with a defender. He'll go in, he'll knock him over, he'll rough him up, he'll do something like that. He weren't winning any fucking personal battles either. There was nothing happening. He looked. Put it this way: if Haller would have put that performance in, Haller would have been strung up. It was a Haller.
I disagree, Nick, because a lot of people say that you can't slag Antonio off, and people don't, and people.
I tend not to. But he annoyed me today.
But I'm honest with you, right? Antonio, I agree with you. Antonio usually makes something out of nothing. He'll bully defenders and all that. But if I'm honest with you, over the recent weeks, how many opportunities has he actually had? How many of those creative midfielders have actually created chances for him? Let's be honest about it here.
Yeah,
right?
I agree. I agree.
Go on.
I agree. But when look, you can see today that, but by just looking at his physical condition and the way that he's running and the way that he's moving, he's not the normal Antonio.
Maybe not.
He's not. He's not. Right? There's something wrong there. I mean, his knee was taped up. The inside of his knee was taped up. I don't know whether you noticed that.
I didn't.
Of his right knee. But he didn't look like he was in peak physical condition today. And like I said, Antonio, he is 80% heart and physical beast and 20% technical ability. And when you put all that together, he is an amazing player when he's at 100%. But I think the issue is look, the ratio's less than that. That's me being unfair. But what I'm saying is a lot of his game is about his physical side. And if he isn't in 100% physical condition and he loses that, he hasn't really got the technical ability to sort of be able to sort of carry that off and offset that. And he's not in condition.
So therefore, but then, so by saying that in the same breath, what you're saying is that people don't need to create chances for him because he'll make them himself, right? Which to me is almost like admitting that our creative midfielders don't create a lot.
Yeah, no.
If Antonio's if Antonio's constantly having to make everything out of nothing, then what opportunities is he being given?
Oh mate, no, I completely
That's all
agree.
I say. I'm not defending him because defending him because he's undefendable. I'm being honest with you.
Look, 100%. And the issue that you've got here, right? You've got Fornals on the left hand side of our attack and Bowen right now. When they play kind of wide like they do, they're almost doubled up like a second fullback. They're workhorses. Both of those players are workhorses that do a job. We've only got room for one, I suppose, luxury player that you need to be able to sort of create something in that team, and that would either be a Lanzini, a Lingard, or in this case, fucking Ben Rama, who just keeps on getting played, irrespective of how shit he plays. He just keeps on. I mean, what was annoying me today was I thought, are you going to take him off? Because it was starting to it was starting to resemble the Wolves game where we could all see that Wolves was going to score. Every West Ham fan could see that Wolves were bang on top of us. The goal was coming. It was going to happen. And I was thinking, how long are you going to leave this fucker on the pitch? Honestly, he was doing nothing. And it sounds like a bit of a manhunt for him. But he was awful. Like you said, right from the first minute. Do you see Declan? I swear Declan Rice grabbed him, pointed up the pitch. I swear he said to him, because he pointed up the pitch, I swear he said to him, get the fuck up there and don't come back. Because he almost
he's probably saying just get the ball out.
Fucking get up there. Don't come near this box again. You're fucking useless. I think he said to him. But
I mean, it's not a Ben Rama witch hunt. He was bad today. He was bad. People in the chat are saying we're only on Ben Rama. Not at all. Antonio was poor, but the difference is Antonio's game to some extent relies on others creating things for him. Yeah, And
Yeah.
if you're the playmaker, you've got to make things play. You've got to create things. And unfortunately, Ben Rama isn't and hasn't for a while, in my opinion. Antonio has been off the ball. And I think who said it here? Hang on. James said, James for me 20 said, since Antonio's gone to Jamaica, playing for Jamaica, he's been awful since he's been playing for Jamaica. And there's probably a little element of truth to that, jet lag and all that time.
Yes, but I'll tell you what
I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with James.
I'll throw up the the lineup screen and we'll do a player ratings 1 minute. But do you know what I've noticed today, and a typical example, right, today of what we see, and this might be why it might explain why we are we're struggling to actually fucking be clinical and score goals, right? I'll give you a perfect example, right? Obviously you've got Bowen who's gone through that last chance on the right hand side. You've got fucking Declan Rice who's played that amazing slide rule pass through to Bowen, right?
Yeah.
Bowen's on his fucking wrong foot. So I understand inverting the wingers. I understand the idea of doing that so that they cut inside and they shoot. How often does that fucking work? More often than not, these players that we see out here in these positions, right? In these positions, they're shooting on their weak foot because you get a ball played through centrally automatically. If you're on the right hand side, it's coming on your right. It's coming on your right foot. So for Bowen, it's on his weak fucking foot. Yeah. So. And it was the same with Anderson, right? Anderson's gone to Lazio. He's on fucking fire. Well, lo and behold, they're playing him on the right wing. No, but they're playing him on the right wing. So I understand the idea. I understand the concept of inverting wingers. And that's basically like a Yarmolenko idea. They're running down the wing, they cut inside, they shoot, bang, goal.
So James might be right then.
What's
when
that?
When he says Moyes might need a little bit of criticism tonight. Because if you're saying you disagree with that system or inverted wingers, as you call
what I'm saying is, why does he never play a fucking winger on the right side? Why does he never play a right-footed winger or an attacker on the right side or a left-footed player on the left side? He never does it, ever. He never, ever does it. And that today, that was a perfect fucking example. Because if that was on the other side, I know it was an acute angle, but if that was on Bowen's left foot, that's a goal. But I'm telling you now, if that ball's played through, that's a goal.
Bowen didn't have to shoot. He could have squared it.
I know he could have squared it, but again, it'd have been squaring it with his weak foot, John. He's on his right fucking foot.
They're professionals. They can pass a ball on either foot, surely. All right, shooting's a different scenario, but all this.
But do you know what I'm trying to say though? You know what I'm trying to get.
I know. Of course, I know.
And that is what I don't get. He don't even change it mid-game. So it's not like you've ever got that situation. So there is no sense in ever creating from the middle, playing through the middle, and slotting in a wide player, because that wide player is always going to be on their weak foot.
I agree. I totally understand. I totally understand what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying. It's interesting to think, did he do that same inverted thing with Everton?
I don't mind, but the thing is, I can understand doing the inverted thing. I do get it. I understand doing that. But what I can't understand is never ever fucking changing it. Now, I mean, it's like I say, Anderson. Before we gave up on him, why did we not try him on the right wing? That didn't make any sense. And Bowen, he looks like a fucking donkey in front of goal at the moment because every chance falls to him on his weak foot.
Yeah, and he does get a lot of chances. We said that.
He gets a lot of chances because he dives in and he drives in and he gets into positions, and every single chance is falling on his fucking weak foot.
I think there's a couple. I've got quite a few Jameses in the chat. I just want to pull this one up. Quite interesting. From similar to what I said earlier to you, Nick. I just think we got what we deserved tonight. Defended okay, going forward. We looked like, and that's totally. We had no idea. We just had no end. There was no understanding of what to do going forward with the ball, And that's what I say. I'm not saying Antonio is blameless, but he's the striker. He's relying on those behind him creating chances. That's all I'm going to say. He's not blameless. He wasn't great today. I agree with you. But he's reliant on service. That's all I would say.
I know, but it is the system for me. Like I said, I think at the moment, and Moyes proved it. Well, he's proved it a few times, but he proved it last year. He'll play a system he'll play a team and a system to death until it gets found out, until someone. I feel like we're arriving at that point. Wolves outplayed us. Brighton out fucking played us. I know every now and then we're going to put in a worldy performance against the Liverpool. That's an anomaly, that is, that type of thing. But these are the bread and butter games. The Brighton at home, you know. Wolves,
look,
you know.
Look, interesting. I could probably guess this, but James said he was watching a game live. Stats after 26 minutes, we had passed the ball only 25 times. Wow.
Yeah, no.
But that's obvious now you say, because they were passing it around like a training room. It was like a training ground exercise at times. It was so easy
because we're set up to not press. So what happens is they're organised. The minute that the other team are in possession, we regress. We get into shape and we basically go try and penetrate us, try and get the ball through us. Well, when we're not defensively resilient, you can fucking get the ball through us. I mean, they was cutting us open with passes constantly, like
with ease, mate. You know what? It's right what you said as well. I said it to the guy I sit next to today. Why are we playing against them like it is Man City? We set up like Man City in the cup, like Liverpool in the league. We had that thing with the mentality was, well, come on then, break us down. Why are we doing that at home to Brighton?
Absolutely, and like I say, when you look at these lads
very
here,
negative.
It was very negative, and when you look at these lads here, that obviously it's a new partnership. Zuma is obviously not comfortable playing on that side. He just clearly he's not. He looks half the player playing there. No. But we know what a good player he is because we've seen it. But he's not comfortable playing on that side. Rice and Souček, like I say, that they were. They were both, like I say, they both did their best today. Rice, the only time, in my opinion, we ever looked fucking threatening was when Rice just seemed to lose his temper and just break with the ball and grab the game by the scruff of the neck and just it's like he was saying, "Fuck this, I'm doing this myself."
Yeah,
it's almost what it felt like sometimes with what he was doing. So like I say, Souček had a much better game today, but it was fruitless. There was nothing there, and like I say, when you're breaking, I know you're saying, but when you're sitting this deep, which quite often we were, and you've got these boys back here, what happens is you break, you give the ball to Ben Rama, right? There's your pivot point. That fucker 9 times out of 10 he ain't gonna do nothing with it. He ain't doing nothing with it. He ain't gonna go past the fuck, because I don't think I saw him dribble past the player today for a start. He was getting defended every time, so he wasn't even his dribbling weren't on point. Normally, at least if he's dribbling, his dribbling's good. But the only fucking good dribbling he had today was down his fucking chin, and he was honestly, his passing was terrible. His decision making was terrible. And it was a continuation of what he did last week. Now, I'm not saying he is hopeless. I'm not, but he is clearly.
He needs a rest. He needs to be
I think he's just going to need a regular kick up the arse, because he had that good game in Europe where he scored the fucking toe punt that should have won him the Ballon d'Or, if you listen to some people. But he scored that goal, and then all of a sudden,
oh God. Should have won him the Ballon d'Or. Fucking hell, mate. You've got that hat on. You've gone mental.
I know. But look. But all I'm trying to say is, Lanzini, when Lanzini came on, how that bloke can start in front of Lanzini at the moment. Now, I'm not saying that he's no good at all. I think he just needs managing. Maybe he just needs to be brought in the team and out the team. And he does. Someone give a pump. Yeah. I know.
Listen, let me say something to you. We know we listen. I've said about it before and all that, right? And we was all talking over there, the people I sit with and that. And I said, look, I know we've got a small squad, right? We know that. That's fact. But he's got to make use of that small squad in some way. Yeah. There's no point. There's no point us all going, yeah, we've got a small squad. I'm guilty of it. Yeah, we have got a small squad, but they're international players. They're players that have played Premier League football. You've got to give them a shot. If it's not working, there's no point otherwise.
No, 100%. I agree.
Lanzini, Lanzini needs. I think Lanzini needs to start against Chelsea, but I don't think he will.
It just gives you craft. So basically, against Chelsea, right? If we even attempt to play against Chelsea the way that we play today, try and control the game, hold your shape, sit there, we'll be fucking. The game will be out of sight by our time. The only way you're going to do anything against Chelsea is by being physical and aggressive, going after the ball, bullying them, and when you've got the ball, making use of it, trying to fucking trying to create something with the ball. I mean, what we were doing today, it was almost like it was like I was pulling my hair out. It was we you know, I mean, to be fair, Suchek and Rice were, and Fornells, because he was in there half the time. Those three were breaking up play and winning the ball back on so many occasions. And then it goes forward, and it was just fucking pointless. It just went nowhere. It just went nowhere, and it came straight back.
I did notice that Antonio and Benrahma at times, more than once, had a few words with each other. So they're obviously not on the same wavelength lately, because a lot of times Benrahma was playing the ball in a completely different way that Antonio was running, and there was frustration between the two of them. You know, I can't make the Chelsea game, believe it or not, because Freddie's got a bloody game that clashes with it.
Oh, bloody hell.
Anyway, but I'm sort of glad I'm not, if it's going to perform like that.
Yeah,
but you know what we're like. We might bloody turn up for that game.
I know. Well, let's just do the player ratings, and then we'll knock it on the head, John. So let's start with Fabs. Go on. What should we give him?
I'll give him. He did his job. He did a couple of good saves. I'll give him 7.
7. Yeah. Zuma 6.
Yeah. Weren't great.
Can't go no higher than that, really.
Weren't bad. Weren't great. You know what I mean?
Same for Dawson.
Yeah.
Who's he giving an 8 to? James, who are you giving an 8?
I think he's giving it to Fabs. Yeah.
Fabs.
That's what I said. Right. Fabs did do some good saves. We'd give it an 8. Go on, James. He's persuaded me.
Go on, then. I'll go an 8.
He wants you to shake Zuma, I think. I don't know what he means.
Right, Soufal, again 6 or a 7. He was fine. I mean,
I'll give him a 7. I'll give him a 7.
He was fine.
He was trying to get forward and that, you know.
I think we just got to be sensible in these scores, because it was a shit performance.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
I'm giving everyone fucking 7. Johnson, I'll give a 6.
Yeah, but he wasn't helped. He wasn't helped today.
No, I thought Fornells worked his nuts off, but his performance wasn't worthy of any more than a 6. I don't think from an attacking position. Benrahma, fucking get that on your head, you twat.
You got to leave that up there. No taking it off.
You're having that. You're having.
You can't take it off.
You and your head, mate. Right. We go Bowen. What are you going to give Bowen?
6.
6. Okay. Right. Souček. Probably 6 or 7. Them two.
High 6. I'd say high 6. Souček, 7 Rice.
Okay. He did play better today. He did play better today.
Yeah, he did play well, Souček. I thought. Yeah, he did. We're glad you watched him. Did you actually watch him today, Nick, and watch what he did? Yeah.
I did. Yeah, I acted on instruction.
You got to score. You got to score, Benrahma. You can't just give him a donkey head.
I haven't got a score low enough, John.
You got to give him the lowest one, then, didn't you?
What, 4?
Yeah. Well, he weren't a 6, was he? I know that sounds harsh. What about Antonio? 5.
Antonio for 5, yeah.
But you weren't given a lot of choice, was he? Chances, let's be honest.
No, Lanzini, when he came on, I'd go an 8 from the time he was on.
You can't give him an 8 for that.
No.
7. Give him a 7. He did well. He did do well when he came on.
Arthur, 6.
Yeah. I think Rice was that. Like James says, Rice was our best player.
Subs, isn't it? Difficult to mark subs.
It is difficult to mark subs. But Rice was our best player on the day. Outfield player. Fabianski was very good. Kept us in the game with a couple of good saves, like James said.
Yeah.
But in terms of the engine, again, it was all on Rice again, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know, I think we're expecting too much from him now. He's Superman, isn't he?
No, we have. And for anyone who wants to know who Donkey is, it's my little mate Benrahma. See if you can shake the donkey head, Benrahma, on your next performance. If you're watching, like I know you're not.
Might listen to you. So what do you reckon what do you reckon then, Nick, Saturday? Looking forward to it?
No, not at all. Not at all. We're having a wobble now. You know, I had to listen to a very fucking chipper Jamie O'Hara on the way home.
Why?
He was taking West Ham are having a wobble now. That top 4's up for grabs. Okay. All the other teams coming in. And when you look at the table, you do think, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but you know, but a little bit of me thinks, right? And I was talking about it over there. Do you think Moyes has taken us like we're overperforming as a squad with what we've got? No, let's be honest. In general, we're overperforming, right? So then that in turn takes the expectation levels too high, doesn't it?
I'm not sure because I'll be honest with you. I think that very unfair on donkeys from Canning Town.
He'll start using that donkey in his drawings now. You watch.
He will. But yeah, so no. Look, I think we've got some really talented players, and what we have got is a world-class player in Deck, and he's everything to do with this team. So I honestly think that James is right what he said earlier on. It's what I said earlier on as well. I think the system and the way that we play is wrong. I think that the way that we set up with Rice and Souček shielding. Do you know what? You can play Rice and Souček together, but as I said, I'd like to fucking have an experiment whereby, do you know what? You just get Souček shielding because Rice is better at doing that job. Don't get him to toggle. Get Rice to fucking get Souček to shield and get Rice as a more advanced midfielder, box to box, because he can do that job and he can do it well. He offers us way more in an attacking sense. He'll break up play higher up the pitch. He'll push the opposition back. And Souček can still be his threat from set pieces and stuff like that. And Souček, when Souček's played in that role, when we've got like Noble or someone with him, Souček does a good job.
Yeah.
So why can't he do it when Rice is on the pitch?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting why he can't sit deeper.
You know?
I think like James has said here about Ogbonna again, right? And he says since Ogbonna gone, we've been a mess. But I think we've been a mess in an attacking sense, not defensively, have we? I know they look a bit clumsy at times. I'd say like Zuma looked a bit clumsy and cumbersome today on the left. I get that.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think
I
you're right.
that.
Yeah, we've had no attacking threat, have we?
No, true.
No. Well, no, it feels like we've had almost no attacking threat since.
Well, yeah, exactly.
That's nothing to do with Ogbonna. But again, I think what a lot of that is. Again, today we didn't have Cresswell, so and that's another thing as well. So I also understand when you play inverted wingers, right? So say for instance when Cresswell's on this side, you play an inverted winger like Fornals, and the idea is he tucks in and Cresswell overlaps. I get that, but Johnson ain't getting forward today. He's not an attacking fullback. That's not the way that works. Fair enough. Soufal was getting forward on occasion, but not for a quick break. He's not getting forward for a quick break. That opportunity where we're kind of, and it has to be fucking quick because they hunt you down, Brighton. So
that's what I was just going to say. As much as they weren't getting forward, they couldn't get forward because they was pressing so high, Brighton. They didn't give us the opportunity to get out a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So that was a massive factor on that. I just think that something needs to give with the front four. He needs to change something in the front four. I don't think Rice, Souček, and the defence are generally the problem at the moment. I think it is what we're doing going forward. Because if you're going to play the system we're playing, it means you're going to have fewer opportunities. And when you do get those opportunities, you've got to make the most of them. And unfortunately, at the minute, we're giving the ball away so quickly and so often that it's coming straight back at the defence. You know what I mean? And that's the problem, I think. You know what I mean? There's no one's holding it up. You know, no one's. They couldn't even string a couple of passes together today, Nick. And you know,
I know.
You was there, I was there. You know, it was obvious.
But like I said, you know, I sent that big, one of my usual long ass fucking Facebook posts the other day. What I put up there, and it was basically me saying that I think that from the goalkeeper up to our central midfield, I think we've got a team that can compete with anyone. I think we have. Yeah. But then what we haven't got when you do go to these top four teams and these top teams is they can play shit. They can create half a chance, one chance they score. We've got to create 8 fucking chances to get a goal. Yeah. Because our attacking players, well, do you know what? Maybe that is even unfair because Bowen, not every player's is 2-footed. Because Bowen, like I said to you, if that chance falls to Bowen on his left foot, that's a goal. I'm telling you, that is a goal. He's burying it. It's on his weak foot.
I agree with you.
You know, and the way that you play, you know, when you've got like Declan Rice, like he was there from a central area, and he plays that slide rule pass through, it's always going to fall. If you're on the right side, it's going to fall on your right foot. If you're on the left side, it's going to fall on your fucking left foot.
Yeah, that's obvious. That's totally obvious.
Yeah.
But I think I was quite surprised, like you today, that there was no changes. The only change was the enforced one, Cresswell injury, whatever he's got on his back or whatever. So I was quite surprised he didn't make a change. But I think after tonight for Saturday, he will definitely do something. He's got to. Otherwise, like you, I'll start to think maybe he is a little bit, he's too loyal or he's too stubborn or whatever you want to call it. He needs to make the change now, because the problem is as well, is that if players, let's say Benrahma continues to underperform, fans are going to get on his back and that's not going to help. Do you know what I mean? And that's what you want. You don't want that. I understand people's frustrations and I get that. But, you know, you don't want a player who's already quite an emotional type of character, or so he looks. If the fans start getting on his back as well and he feels that, he ain't going to come back anytime soon. And
he wasn't as emotional as what I was today. I'll tell you, watching him.
I know, I got your voice note here. Do you want me to share it?
But like I say, that for me typified him and his attitude today. And that was him just strolling away from that fucking throw-in and Moyes blood red screaming at him. Turn and face the fucking ball, you bastard. He went.
Good. That's a good accent. I like it.
You know, you like that. But anyway, so okay, well look, we've wrapped that up. I mean, that's that. I don't really want to fucking dwell on this game no more. Benrahma gets the Ballon. Oh, he gets that one. Not the Ballon d'Or.
You've been writing that one for weeks.
Just thought of it. Popped into my head. But okay, but yeah, that's that done. So we move on to the Chelsea game at the weekend, which we will review with our friend Nigel Khan, who's coming back on for the third time.
Preview, Nick.
Our preview, and I'll get it right one day.
Preview is before the game. A review is after the game.
Yeah. All right, whatever.
Yeah, we've got to do reviews even when we're crap like tonight, I suppose.
I know, but I'm not very good in this type of situation. Because
you are. You're good. You're better when we lose or draw because you're
more. Because everyone's going to fucking hate me now. Like all the fucking Benrahma lovers. So I'm going to start getting death threats.
Listen, everyone's entitled to their opinion, right? You are, as I am, as anyone is. But what we've got to do is stick with them a little bit. There's no point all throwing our toys out the pram, because the problem now is we're fourth in the league still after fucking 1 point from the last 9, right? We're doing well in Europe. We're in the Carabao Cup and all that. The problem is, what now denotes a bad season? Like, what denotes a good season? If we finish 8th, is that still not a good season without a cup? I don't know.
No.
This is the problem now. You know what I mean?
I would be happy getting I'd be happy getting doing one in the cup. You know, I would do. But the issue is it's all about momentum, and the reason that we've been doing so well in everything, you know, you can't have one without the other. If we play like that, we ain't beating Tottenham in the quarterfinal. We need to change things up. We've got to get our form back. And like you said, do you know what? Perhaps we haven't got a team that's littered with superstars. So we do need to overperform, which means that we need to fucking perform. So Moyes has got to try and find a way, whether it's a slight tactical tweak, whether it's or whatever it is, he's got to try and find a way of getting us through December. Because the fact of the matter is, if we've got ambitions of competing for that top 4 spot, we can't be out of sight come January. We've got to still be at least within touching distance. You know, 4 to 6 points away. We've got to be close. Otherwise, you got no fucking chance.
Nick, I'll be honest with you, mate. I'm not being horrible, but I'm not trying to burst anyone's bubble. I don't think we're going to get top 4, right?
No, I don't. Right. Not now.
So we've got to be we've got to be realistic, and that's not me all of a sudden changing my tune, because you know, I was going along the crest of a wave like everyone else earlier on in the season. But now I think the realism has hit. You know, our small squad, our, you know, lethargic players because they're tired, whatever you want to call it, the system needs changing, is showing. So something needs to give. And like you said, we need to stay in touching distance between now and January, because we can't change much until January apart from the system. The players we've got there now are the players we've got till January the 1st at the very least, or probably later. So he needs to use the subs. He needs to bring people in and use them now, because it's pointless them. They're just sitting on the bench all the time.
Yeah, I know.
Getting not enough time. I think Lanzini's got to start.
Oh, you know, I mean, if you're Lanzini at the moment, I mean, I'm not being funny. If he's a far better player than some of the players that are on the pitch.
When he came on, you could see he wanted to change that game when he came on. He was straight on it.
But the thing is that attitude isn't going to be there forever.
No.
So if when he comes on like that, and he's like a bull in a china shop, and he's clearly trying to fucking, he's seen an opportunity here. He's just sat there watching Ben Rama play shit for 70 minutes, and he's basically sat there and he's thought, I'm going to come on and I'm going to change this. Well, if after that he still doesn't,
not on the team sheet,
he's still not on the team sheet, then I'm not being funny. Then that appetite to do that is going to go, because Moyes has got to give people passage through into that first team. And why Ben Rama has all of a sudden become a favourite, I've got no idea, because he weren't last season. For me, he's an impact player. He's the one you bring off the fucking bench.
But then that means Moyes must think that there's no one else better than him, or no one else can do what he does. But I can't see how that.
If we've got no one better than Ben Rama, then we've got problems. I'm sorry.
Right. So what about Antonio? Because I believe Antonio needs a bit of a rest, but there's no one to go in for him. So then,
for me, do you want me to be honest? Bowen would have been more use centrally as a striker than what Antonio was, and he would have been more. He would have been more use than what Antonio was, and that probably would have encouraged us to play a bit differently as well. Because when you are playing with Bowen up front, you have to play football differently, because Bowen can't go toe to toe with big defenders, so you can't. Not that we were launching balls at Antonio today, because like you said, I don't think he was getting anything.
Well, the thing is, I'm not talking about those beautiful slide rule passes. We're not even doing those long balls into channels for him to chase down anymore.
No, like I said earlier on, because normally with Antonio, he makes a bad pass good. He'll chase a lost cause, won't he? Yeah. So there's none of that. But I think at the moment, we know what Antonio can do. To me, Antonio loves the club. I don't think he's a lazy bastard. I'm not angry with him. If he ain't right, he shouldn't be playing, because if he ain't right, he's no good, because he's all about condition. So you should take him out the firing on it. Put someone else in. Just put someone else in there. I'm pretty certain that Sonny Perkins wouldn't have been worse than Antonio today. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that he's the answer, but Antonio was so bad. I don't think that Sonny Perkins would have been any worse.
Yeah, but Nick, it's like the whole debate again. I'm not saying Antonio. I'm not defending him just for defending his sake. But what service did he have, mate?
No, he had none. He had none. But like I say, but there is a difference when you've seen Antonio when he's fucking towels up. John,
he's frustrated. For me, he looks frustrated at the minute. But
when he's towels up and he's in the mood, he is beating people up. He is, honestly.
Yeah, but
he's smashing people up, and he weren't doing that today.
Nick, and to me, Antonio looks pissed off, looks frustrated. He does, mate. I think he's thinking, well, where the fuck's the... He might be a little bit unfit. Like James said earlier, Jamaica might be taken out of him to some extent, but he looks like he's getting the ump, to me, with the lack of service, mate. I truly believe it, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, he could be. He could be.
He could be. I think he knows he's not getting the service he needs. He's not. Look, he's going to feel it. He's going to be judged on his goals at the end of the day, right? He's our striker and he's our top Premier League all-time goal scorer. He started off the season very well. He's now having a bit of a blip, which all strikers do. But he's probably thinking, well, I'm having a blip because I'm not getting any fucking service here. And I can understand it to some extent, mate, He's not blameless. He's not blameless. I'm just saying. Like from a striker.
I'm going back through the chat here. I've not seen this. Have you seen it?
I saw this. Someone that was a strange one. That was a strange one. I've got Sky Sports on now because someone was watching it on their phone at West Ham when they was doing the VAR check. I couldn't see it properly, but apparently he was offside. But I couldn't see where it was either, if I'm honest with you. But I'm waiting for the replay on Sky in a minute, if I'm honest with you. If they show it, I don't know.
You're going to relive it. I'll tell you what would have been a good goal though. That Fornals volley, wouldn't it?
God, imagine if we would have nicked that. Imagine if we would have gone 2-0 up. That was our only. If we'd have gone 2-0, if we'd have gone in 2-0 at half time, man, Brighton might as well have gone home. We definitely weren't their day then, was it? Because that was out of nothing. I mean, that was beautiful, wasn't it? What was that? That was a crossfield pass from Rice out to Bowen, wasn't it? Bowen controlled it. It was the one bit of football we played.
Yeah, Bowen controlled it. Who headed the ball back out? Was that a defensive header or was that like Antonio cushioning that header back out? I can't remember now.
I can't remember if I'm honest with you, mate.
But all I know is that was fucking close. Like that was an amazing strike. I'd say the other thing I remember as well now. We probably should have done this earlier in the game. Do you remember that their keeper kept getting caught off of his line, didn't he? It's like
Yeah,
Bowen tried to
we had
lob
two
in.
halfway line shots, didn't we? And they both
Nowhere
just
near goal.
one dribbled back into his hands. I think from
Yeah.
four nails. Four nails did
Yeah.
one. And then
Yeah.
Bowen put it about 10 foot. Well, maybe not 10 foot wide. I'm exaggerating, but yeah,
Yeah.
it did make me think. Oh, for fuck's sake, what are we doing? But
I
that
know.
was probably the worst I've seen us play for a long time.
No, Wolves was just as bad.
Yeah, but I wasn't live. You know, when you're at the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's different when you're at the game because you feel more angry.
Yeah. No.
I'll get more angry at the game than when I'm watching it on telly.
Wolves was just as bad. But if we're honest, there's been plenty of games this season where, you know what, where we ain't performed, but we've won and we've ground out results because we've been defensively resilient. And we've how many times have we spoken after the game and we've said, you know what, professional performance, done what we had to do, didn't play well, but ground out a result. Well, now the professionalism is kind of, I'm not saying the professionalism's going, but the system's failing. That people are finding gaps now. They're finding how to get to us. So I'm sorry, Mr. Moyes, we're gonna have to stop playing fucking football. We're gonna have to start changing things up a little bit and taking the game to someone else. You can't be having 33% possession at home to fucking Brighton.
No, I totally agree with that. I'd have to agree with that.
You can't be doing that. So we're gonna have to start playing football with the fucking football, please.
Oh well, your brother's on. He's back from his drink up in the city.
Is he back? Right, here
put
we go.
A message up. Get the message up. Look, the
problem is the same as it was last game. Ball goes up to Antonio or Benny, and it comes straight back. No respite for midfield or defence.
Exactly.
Changes needed. Yeah.
No respite for midfield or defence. Exactly what I'm saying to you. You see, and then the problem with that is the more the defence and the midfield are under the cosh, the more chance they've got of being exposed, and then you blame them because it's very easy. This is what annoys me. Right, I'm going to get back to my defensive days. If a striker misses the goal, he misses the goal. If a defender fucks up and it nearly costs a goal, you remember that more than the missed shot, didn't you?
Yeah, I know.
And that's the problem. Strikers and midfielders, they get away with a lot, mate. I tell you, they get a lot of leeway. But like your brother said there, and I wish your brother was on it because he's more sensible than you, right? He has hit the nail on the head. I wouldn't say Antonio so much because I don't think Antonio was getting a lot of the ball today, but definitely Ben Rama and to some extent Bowen. They weren't holding the ball up. They weren't finding anyone, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
I mean, Stell's here. Look, evening, Stell. He's saying Moyes needs to grow up here. I mean, drop Antonio. I've got to be honest, mate. There was one player on that pitch. Antonio weren't good. But Ben Rama is a player on the pitch who's supposed to provide a spark. He provides, he's supposed to get, you know, give Antonio something to feed off of. There's no other word for him. He was shit.
Who would still put up front? Still, who would you put up front, mate? Go on, tell us when you get a minute.
That's what Masuaku, I reckon. He'd put Arthur up front. He loves Arthur.
You said Bowen, yeah?
I would have had Bowen up front as opposed to Antonio today. Yeah, I would have.
That young kid, Sonny. What's his name? Sonny Perkins.
Yeah, but again,
he won't start up front.
That was just an example. All I was trying to say was I don't think he could have been any worse, but that's not really justification to play him.
No, still probably knows someone in the West Ham under 12s that's a good striker or something. He knows all about the under 12s up to the under 18s. That geezer.
You got his younger brother Tarquin Perkins, who's He's doing really well for the under sixes.
No, and this is the thing as well, right? Is that I know Antonio needs to be dropped. I know he needs a rest. The problem is there's no one to put up there. There's no direct replacement for him unless you change the system.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. That is what I would do. And do you know what? I would be because the thing is, we keep on saying, oh, let's wait for fucking Vlasic to get used to the speed of the Premier League. Well, he ain't going to get used to it if you don't play in it. And when these other players are playing shit like they are at the moment, now's a perfect opportunity. Just bring him in, blood him in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's now it's the point. We've had 1 point out of 9 after a brilliant win against Liverpool. Now we've just got to throw these players in. And like I said at the beginning, Nick, we haven't got a big squad, but make use of the squad we've got. Otherwise, there's no point, is there?
No. I thought, Stell, I think Arthur played really well today when he came on. He might have worked his way into that starting lineup. You don't know.
Why does Stell hate Masuaku so much? Did he blank him Did he blank him down like Brentwood High Street or something?
Absolutely hates him. I don't know what happened there.
Unfortunately, Antonio won't get dropped. I think he might. I think he might if he carries on. I don't think he'll drop him against Chelsea though.
Yeah.
But I think he might. He'll definitely drop him next Thursday.
Fuck off, he said.
Can he not come on our channel swearing, please? Because we don't do it to him, do we?
Excuse me. Don't fucking swear still.
He's had a couple of shandies. Hasn't he?
Stop fucking swearing. We don't swear on here.
What's Gary put?
I think we might be in the old manager's loop of sticking with the same team, expecting a different name. Yeah, no. It's going to start to get like that, and like I say, what started off as an amazing season can fucking quickly turn bad if he doesn't get a handle on it. And what's this? You're welcome to swear. Yeah,
Swear at you, not with you.
That's it. But yeah, I think the way that we're playing our playing style, we don't have to play like that. We've given so many examples over the past couple of years where we've actually sort of outplayed teams, and we have done that. You know, when it's like, do you know what? If you're going to play Ben Rama, and I'm going to say this now, right? If you're going to play Ben Rama in the team with Lanzini, because Ben Rama's better when Lanzini's in the team.
No. I disagree. No. Ben Rama needs to be dropped. I don't think.
No. I will drop him. What I'm saying is, but he's not good enough. Basically, he isn't good enough to be that creative influence himself. To just have one player in there to basically pull the strings. That ain't him. That's not him. He can be part of a passing team. So if you play him with, like I say, his best games that he's had. Really, I mean, I'm taking the European fucking Duffer game out of the group where he scored the best toe punt in the world. So
you scored a few. Well, you scored a few good toe punts in your time over mine and Astro. What are you talking about?
If you take that out, if you go back to, was it the Aston Villa game last year where he was playing with Lingard?
Yeah.
And that was one of the best. That's some of the best football that we've played. So we've got ability. We've got Declan Rice who if you encourage him to get forward, rather than just fucking sit there and regress and shield the back four. That's your job. Sit, shield, block, stop. Fucking pick the ball up, run, go forward, go attack. That's the way that we should play. That's the way that we should be playing. Take the game to the opposition, because we were being pinned back.
Yeah, we
were being pinned back today. Stretch the game, push them back, force them back. Don't invite their fucking fullbacks on to overlap and fucking all of a sudden you've got passing opportunities all over the place. You can't. I mean, it was working. It can't just be the fact that Ogbonna's gone that we look a little bit more defensively shaky. I personally think
we do look that defensive. I don't think we look that defensively shaky.
No. To be fair, a lot of the chances that Brighton carved out was just good football. They just play good football. You know, it's as simple as that. And so you're probably right. But
I've just seen Antonio's goal. I can't see why that was offside. Genuinely, I can't see why that's offside. I don't know what's happened there.
But even so, anyway. It don't take away from the fact that we didn't deserve fuck all at that game, to be honest.
So if we look at Stell, so we're talking about the defence there, and Stell said the other issue for me is Dawson cannot start against Chelsea. Diop needs to come in at the weekend.
Yeah, I'd agree with that as well.
Why? Can I just ask why?
Because Diop for me looks like Diop is our strongest left-sided centre back at the moment. It's where he's comfortable.
I am quite surprised.
What I'm saying is Zuma's looked shaky and not very good since he's gone to left-sided centre back. Okay. So we need to get Zuma back to his best. Yeah. So shift Zuma, our £26 million centre back to where he's strongest, so that he can fucking be a good defender again. 26 million.
Okay, 26 million. Yeah.
26 million. Yeah. So bring him back, and literally just and then you're getting the best out of both players. I'm not having a go at Dawson.
I know, and I'm not defending Dawson. I'm just asking why. So therefore, what I'm trying to get to, we all know that Diop is our only available left-sided centre back. So why is he not getting in the team? Why is Moyes not playing him? I don't get it then. That's what I'm saying.
Because I think there is this. I do feel a little bit with Moyes, and we've seen it before. Like, I mean, he's made the least changes in the top flight in the Premier League this year.
Yeah.
He doesn't make any fucking changes to that first team. Your first team's your first team, you know. And do you know what? I think we're in a situation now where we're in so many competitions where Well, I'm sorry, Dave. You're gonna have to start using your squad a bit more. Start rotating the fucking players a little bit. Don't
Yeah,
have
no, I agree.
don't
I
have a
agree.
definitive first team. Don't make it a fucking crown to be named on the first team. Make everyone. Do you know what I mean? It's got to be because we've got very clearly got an A and a B team. That's what we've got.
Well, how can we have a A and a B team when we ain't got a fucking squad big enough for an A and a B team?
No, but
You
we
can't.
have got an A. We have got an A and a B team.
No, what you're
And
saying is he's got his favourites.
he's got his favourites. Yeah. He has.
Okay.
He has. You know, Suchek had a better game today, but he's been shit for most of this season. And you've had other players that have come in, and he was. Suchek was much better today, but there's been he's yeah. I don't know. It's been. I'm sure he'll be fine. I'm just a bit worried that if he does set up like that, if he sets up like that, because I think Chelsea are going to be worse against. So we're going to struggle more against Chelsea than what we did against Man City. The way that Chelsea are playing at the moment, the way they're playing at the minute, they're not like the Chelsea we played last year.
No.
They're fucking they're terrifying. And if we try, oh yeah, we'll just kind of what was that? What
Come on to us. No, I was just listening to what you said made me laugh.
Yeah. No, but if we just invite them to come all over us, if we just invite Chelsea to come all over us, like
okay,
yeah,
right.
I won't go there.
Innuendo, yeah, okay.
I won't go there. But you know what I mean. If we invite them to come to us, then come on to us, and it's not going to end well.
So still reckons Dawson is too slow. Yes, he is slow. I agree.
Yeah.
Diop will allow Zuma to play on the right, and will be quicker to close gaps down, and will play better alongside Zuma. I don't disagree, by the way, but I just can't get my head around why Moyes can't see that. That's all I'm saying. I don't think. See, this is what people misunderstand me. I'm not defending Dawson, but what I'm saying is Dawson hasn't done anything wrong. But what I'm saying is why can Moyes not make that decision? Why is he taking so long to see that?
Because I feel like he's got to a stage where we've got this far based on team spirit and everything else, and I think he's almost scared. Maybe he's scared of damaging that by dropping some key components of that.
So then, Gary. So then, what your brother says here makes sense. Moyes seems to do squad seniority. Dawson is the more senior player, so
absolutely.
He starts every single game.
And it's frustrating, and it shouldn't be like that. It really shouldn't. But Dawson's probably a bad example because I think what we're talking about here, we're talking about dropping Dawson not because Dawson's done anything wrong.
Because he doesn't help. He doesn't help Zuma, who's our main man going forward, or one of our men.
We're saying we need to get the best out of Zuma, who is a superb centre back, and basically Dawson's got his position at the moment.
Yeah.
And we know that Dawson can't play left centre back, so that means that Diop, who has our natural left centre back, has got to come in. But whether he will or not, God only knows. I mean, he won't fucking change it. We'll see exactly the same starting lineup against Chelsea.
I was honestly.
This lineup predictor I fucking done here was the biggest waste of time in the world. Honestly, no fucking point. Might as well just do the same screenshot every fucking week because it never fucking changes. It's always the same.
Right, listen. Let's have a look at a couple of comments in the chat here. Mikolaj Dijak. Team needs to step up big time. I know we've got tough games ahead, but we've got Arsenal on our arse. All right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see what he means. We've got Arsenal on our arse with only 1 point different. Also, still spot on about Diop. Don't tell Still he's spot on about anything, for God's sake. Gary says, he's done more talking on this chat than he does when he's live. Going back to the root cause. Yeah, look, but he's right. Going back to the root cause, it is our attacking play that is the problem. I believe that.
So you don't think that us having 33% possession is a bit of a problem?
Yeah,
but I do agree. I agree.
That's because of the attacking side of things, Nick.
I said that the other day. I did say that basically our attacking third is shit, and that is what not shit, but they are. We need to be in a situation where if you want to be a top team, where you can play bad, but all you need to do in a game is just create 1 or 2 chances. That's it. When Tottenham, right? How many times have we played against Tottenham in the past when they were probably at their peak? Tottenham weren't playing very well. Son, Kane get half a chance, bang, goal, bang, goal. You're like, fuck, we've created loads in this game.
Yeah, but Nick, that's like comparing apples and lemons, isn't it? It's a bit like we ain't got players of that quality. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but we have in the deeper positions in the pitch because we've got better players. I think we've got better players than Tottenham in the deeper positions from midfield backwards. but it's that
Yeah.
front third. We just need one or two. Like, like we've got Declan Rice in midfield. There ain't a better midfielder around than him. You need to have a top player up front, and you can't always be going out fucking bargain hunting for a because by the time you've bought fucking 20 million pound players, you might as well have just gone out and fucking bought a decent one.
Yeah, but it's very difficult for us to go and attract 80 million pound players, isn't it? Because if they're 80 million pound, players, there'd be other clubs after them for a start. Oh, hang on. Stell's got a scoop. Stell has got a scoop.
Good.
By the way, forgot Arthur Cabral. That's the Brazilian geezer, isn't it?
Do you know why he likes him? He likes him because of his first name, Arthur, after his other favourite.
He likes Arthur, doesn't he?
He loves Arthur.
Yeah. So if Arthur Masuaku leaves, he still can remember him by this Arthur Cabral.
Exactly. Yeah. That's it.
So I know Arthur Cabral. Is he the Brazilian? I think. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, he does look good on YouTube.
Yeah, but Nick, anyone can look good on YouTube. For God's sake, listen out for news on Darwin Núñez. I don't know much about him actually. He's literally the young Antonio. What shit? You lot.
They only signed him for 20 million in the summer. I read. So if we sign him, he's going to be fucking expensive.
Yeah, because they want to make their money plus more.
They're going to want to. Yeah. So he won't be cheap.
Hang on a minute. Product placement. I'll do a show on him tomorrow, promoting his own shows on here. Coming on our show with all our 10,000 viewers we got.
Absolutely disgusting. Still
shameless
still.
Lads, left side of midfield Saturday. One of only two choices: Benrahma or Masuaku. For me, Masuaku. I think purely because I think Benrahma needs to be dropped, because if he don't get dropped after the last couple of weeks, then he thinks he's undroppable. And then that doesn't make you try, does it? You think, oh, I'm untouchable here. That's the problem as well. If you've got no one breathing down your neck, if you know the manager's not going to sub you, drop you or whatever, you could be forgiven for being a little bit sort of blasé about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it don't matter what I do almost. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. If you want me to be completely honest and say, Nick, who would you rather play on the left-hand side, Benrahma or Masuaku? I would choose half of Masuaku.
Why'd you call him Harfer?
I'm saying I would choose, even if I could only have half an Arthur, I would have half a Masuaku as opposed to Benrahma. Honestly, the way I feel about him at the moment, I don't want him in the team. I'm fed up watching him.
Yeah, good point.
I'm fed up watching him. So I would put Arthur in over Benrahma at the moment.
Stell's not happy. Stell's not happy with you. Oh my lord, mate, Masuaku.
And I'd make him captain. I'd make him captain as well.
Are you saying this genuinely? Or are you just trying to wind up Stell? So the fact City and Brighton scored when Masuaku was out of position, you'd still pick him, would you, Nick?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. So hang on a minute. Did you not see after 1 minute the pass from Benrahma, the great through ball to the Brighton player that fucking almost set them off on their way? So that's the thing. So Benrahma is I'm sorry, at the moment, yeah, I know he'll play a game in about 5 games time and he'll score a hat trick and he'll look amazing, and then we'll have to watch him be shit for another 10 games, like he always does. So we shall see, but I'll probably need to stop slagging him off because I'm going to get sitting there. I've got a red laser dot on my head.
No, Jesus, you better watch out for that one. Well, it looks like the player that's still mentioned isn't going to be coming to us because Mikel reckons he's going Barcelona. So that's Stell's fault. That's Stell's fault for making a show about the geezer.
Apparently, Mikel they have no money.
Oh,
Barcelona, they can't purchase anyone in the window, which is why we're going in January for him. So they can't. From what I've read it. I mean, there's no smoke without fire, and there's a lot of reports on this now. Is that we've already lodged a 20 million euro bid. But do you know what? We had all this. Do you remember that fucking Milinkovic? Well, we thought that was a done deal, didn't we? Do you remember that?
Yeah. There's two. The problem is now is there's so many rooms. We're linked with every Tom, Dick, and Harry, innit?
Yeah. Been approached by Barcelona to do catering.
There is, you know what? There's so many strikers we could buy, but we'll probably buy none of them.
We won't have any of them. You know, we'll end up with Benny will be playing up front or something for us.
I've got the feeling that Stell's never going to buy Masuaku a Christmas card.
Yeah, I don't know what is that. There's a deeper
Exactly
story
there.
here.
There's
Something's
something
happened.
there. I
Something's
reckon
happened.
Masuaku kicked his cat or something. He must have kicked one of his cats. Sushi and that's what they're called, sushi and wasabi. He
That's
must.
it.
Stell's got the Stell, mate. I love Masuaku to turn up at your door. Stell would hug him if he met him, I reckon.
I know.
What
And
about Balotelli? What, Mario?
No.
Does he mean Belotti?
No, he means Balotelli because he spelt it Balotelli.
Yeah,
He's on a free transfer, isn't he? And he can stay on a fucking free transfer and all.
No, I told you he meant Belotti.
Oh, he meant Belotti.
See, I told you.
All right, okay. Belotti, yeah, I would. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think that Belotti is a good player. I don't think he's a great player. If he was a great player, he wouldn't still be at Torino after all these years. I think he is good. I think he would suit West Ham. He would suit Moyes because he's hardworking, and he's a tough player. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's not. It depends how much you can get him for. If you can get him for a decent amount, then why not? I think the fans would like him, and I think he would fit the team work ethic as well. So, yeah, but I don't think that you're going to get 20, 30 goals a season out of him, personally.
But we don't ever have a 20, 30 goal season striker anyway, do we? So I'll be happy with a 15 goal striker or something, or an 18. Doesn't have to be 25 and 30. You just need competition for places. That's what you need mainly.
Yeah, no,
and that's the problem. But the problem is if Moyes is that loyal, if he's not going to change anything, then the situation will will come up again at some point. You know what I mean? I was very surprised with the starting lineup today. I thought Lanzini would start definitely. I
was deflated. I was deflated when I saw that.
I genuinely thought Diop would start.
It's the same. I just thought. And it went exactly how I expected it to go, and you're like, really? And then it took him until 70 minutes of watching Ben Rama before he finally had enough and took him off. And you're like, why 70 minutes? Why wait that long?
He should have done it half time, mate.
Oh, I mean, fucking, he was hopeless. And I was just
not just Ben Rama, but change it at half time. Change the system, change the players on the pitch, change whatever.
But the trouble is you can't just change it at the flip of a hat, because the issue that we've now got is that West Ham have been coached to play this way. So we've been coached to play defensively, to do what we do, which is camp and then attack on a counter attack. Whereas Brighton, they've been coached to play like Barcelona. That's kind of how they play.
Well, hang on a minute. You just compared Brighton to Barcelona.
No, I don't mean that. But they play passing football. They play a passing game. They play a possession-based game. So it's not you can't. It's like they wouldn't be able to just switch and play the way that we play. No. They wouldn't be able to. So what Moyes is going to have to do is come up with a plan. Because if he doesn't come up with a plan, I am sorry, we've been found out at the moment. Wolves, as it stands at the moment, this system that he's got, I think he's been found out, and he needs to make some tweaks. He's going to have to make some tweaks.
The worrying thing for me, and yes, I know I'm probably overly optimistic, as you accuse me of usually, is that there doesn't seem to be a plan B. That is the worrying thing, because you cannot expect to win every game in the same way or play in the same way, because, like you said, teams will find you out,
we must be the easiest team to prepare for, because you just know how he's going to play, how he's going to set up. He's made one exception this year against Man City, one exception where he changed shape, to a degree. But everyone else, they know the team, they know the way we're going to play, and they know the game plan. It's never fucking changed.
Look, Stel said something here, Nick. Would you be happy for Lingard to return and no striker? No, I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't.
I think we need 3 or 4 players in January.
And Antonio at the moment, as you just said, is Antonio. Look, if Antonio had competition, we'd get the best out of Antonio. To have Antonio with another striker where they can share the load, Antonio, we would only play him when he's fucking fit and firing and like a coiled spring. We'd get the absolute best out of him. Everyone would love him. And it would just make it. He can't do what he's doing. He can't play this many games.
No.
He physically can't. Well, he can,
No.
but he's
not to the best of his ability.
He's eroding before our very eyes, isn't he? You know,
Yeah.
he's kind of. It's what it feels like.
Yeah, he's being in a way used and abused because at the end of the day, he can't do it all. He can't do it all on his own. He needs a rest. You know, he probably knows he needs a rest as well, and that's where his frustrations are coming from. He's fucking fucked.
I know.
But it doesn't help when he's not getting any service. That's all I'm going to say to you. And I know I've repeated myself. You know what I mean?
I know.
Yeah, look,
I know.
Gary's right. I think there's a lot to be said about this. Antonio and Benrahma have their slippers on. They are in the comfort zone. No competition. They can do what the fuck they like.
No, and Antonio, yes, but what the fuck, Benrahma? Why has he got his slippers on? I mean, if he's in his comfort zone, I'll tell you, we've got a problem. If Benrahma starts on Saturday, we've got a massive fucking problem because he should be punished. He should be fucking dropped for that performance that he gave today. And it ain't just one, there's a few. So even if it's just a token fucking arse kicking, take him out of the team. Don't let him play like that and get away with it.
Fucking hell, Jesus. You right there, Nick? Take your hat off. You seem like you're overheating.
I can't. This ain't a fashion statement, by the way. I've got
It definitely ain't a fashion statement.
I've got a hat here. I wore it over the thing today.
You know what Stell's done? Stell's come on here and he's given us all these names that we might be signing, and then he's just gone. No,
Stell and Gary just coming here and wound me up again.
No, listen, and then Stell's give us all these big names, and now he's just killed it. Be prepared, lads. It'll just be Lingard, and Moyes will be happy. So why give us all these names, Stell? Why have you done that to us?
Oh, it's not fair. It's not fair.
Good point. Good point. Nick, you hate Benrahma more than I hate Masuaku.
Do you know what? I wouldn't hate him if he weren't in the team. I'll be happy with him sitting on the bench. I'm just fed up watching him, especially when we've got a player like Lanzini. Especially when we've got a player like Lanzini who is playing well. He's on form. Fucking get him in the team.
Do you know what? The funny thing is, Stell hates Masuaku and he just sits on the bench.
Yeah. I ain't that bad. I wouldn't hate Benrahma for sitting on the bench. He warms up and fucking still shits and stamps in it when he sees him warming up. He starts getting the hump.
Oh God, I don't know. Listen, I don't know what we're going to do. It's 1 point from 9. It's very disappointing, especially after that Liverpool win. I can't help but think the international break did us no favours. You know.
Let's face it, the Liverpool win was all a bit pointless now, wasn't it?
A little bit. It was a great night, but it's a little bit pointless in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, it was all a little bit pointless. So.
We'll just go out and beat Chelsea Saturday, eh?
It wouldn't surprise me. It is the West Ham way, but that's the old-fashioned West Ham way. And I thought this was a new West Ham, where we won the games that we should win. And you know,
here he goes.
What's that?
Can you ask? I want Stell to give me the 6 Friday nights winning lottery numbers because John, when he was warming up, I got nervous and said, if he comes on, they will score. You should have put a bet on it on your phone or something.
You should have.
I know what you mean. There's always players there. You think, what's he coming on for?
But I kind of felt like that was going to happen. I mean, especially against Brighton. You knew it was. I mean, look, to be fair, they deserved it.
Nick, we scored 3 minutes in, but they nearly scored. They nearly scored before we scored, right?
We couldn't have complained if we lost that game. There's no way.
Nick, we was lucky to get a draw. To nick a draw, mate. We've nicked the point off them tonight, 100%, mate. They was better than us. End of story. They was better than us in all departments, mainly keeping the ball and passing to each other.
Funniest thing today was some bloke who just kept on repeatedly calling Trossard. Tossard. He just kept on calling him proper. He was right up the front. He was going, "Oi, Tossard." He was going.
Did he knew it was a joke? Did he do it on purpose?
Yeah, he done it. Yeah, he done it. He was doing it.
I had some knob behind me. He kept going. Why don't we bring on Mark Slowball? I felt like, you know how hard I found that to not say anything.
Yeah.
No, but wasn't even on the pitch. He said Mark Slowball. What?
What's this?
What?
Still singing. Half a match. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Always wins the
He
ball.
always gives the ball away.
Yeah, we've got to make up on the bet. I don't know. Saturday we'll win, I bet. I really do. Shame I can't fucking go. I've had to give my tickets away, but I'll have to watch it on some stream or something.
One of them things, mate. I'm not looking forward to the game at all. I'll be honest with you. I'm really not. I'm not saying that we can't win it. I mean, to be honest, if you asked me to choose a win at pre-game, I said this to you anyway yesterday. If I said to you, I fancied that we was going to lose today, so we haven't. We've drawn, and I think if we were going to get anything out of either game, I would fancy Chelsea. So Chelsea is the one where I think we could, but I don't know. I think maybe I'm just being stupid now. If we play anything like that, we're going to get served.
Is still being sarcastic, lads. Saturday, Chelsea got to get spanked. He's a right wind-up merchant, isn't
he? He is.
Right. Should we wrap up? It's 12:30. Bloody hell.
Yeah, we better. All right. Okay. I will let you go. Mick, and do you know what? Well, the tantrums have earned one good thing. Michelage, who's been on the chat, he's just subscribed. So welcome, Michelage.
Hello, Michelage.
Yeah. He's just subscribed.
I'm doing a thumbs up, but I've just realised my camera's not on, is it?
Right. Okay. Right. Well, that's. But honestly, I'm not always this bad, Michelage. I'm normally much happier.
Always this bad, Michelage. I'm sure everybody will vouch for how bad Nick can be, but it's entertainment.
Yeah.
So they say.
All right, gentlemen. We'll see you on Friday night for our booze up. See you later.
Speak to you later, lads. Take care.
Bye.